My name's Ken Loach. I do films from time to time, and I'm very pleased to support the campaign to elect Tanushka Marah as the candidate, the only candidate in my view, for the general election in Hove and Portslade. Tanushka stands for the things I believe in. She stands for the basic ideas that we need to put back on the political agenda. Ideas that Sunak never stood for, the Labour Party once stood for, but certainly not under Starmer. For example, we need a health service that goes back to its founding principles, where it was entirely paid for by progressive taxation. Everyone has a contract with the NHS. No privateers, for the people, in the interest of the people, run by the people. We support the doctors and the nurses who have fought for that idea, unlike Starmer. Starmer and Sweeting stand for privatization. We need council housing. We know the terrible situation for homeless people. We know the disadvantage kids have when they don't have a regular home. What is it, 140,000 kids with no home? What are we doing to this generation? Yeah, we hear nothing about that, nothing at all. We need proper municipal housing, council housing, planned, built to the highest standards, sustainable, work nearby, good work, not the gig economy, insecure. We need a new welfare state where the most vulnerable, the poorest people are cared for, and the elderly. Not like, again, like Starmer, not a word to say about the desperate poverty, not a word to say about hunger being used as a weapon to discipline ordinary people. When to become used to food banks? Nobody mentions them now. That's a disgrace. That's intolerable in a decent society. And so on and so on. Across the domestic agenda, we need these basic principles reasserted. Public ownership of public utilities and public services. We need a new welfare state that really cares for its people, not just the bankers. But what are the wider principles in which we live in this world? What about our common humanity? What about international law? What about human rights for everyone? Again, where's Starmer? This so-called great international human rights lawyer, contempt for the human rights of the Palestinians. Where is he? Where's his common humanity? How can he stand by while the terrible crimes we see committed against the Palestinians, and he still wants to send arms to enable it to happen? I can never vote for that man again, nor the shabby bunch of cowards who follow him. There's a few who stand out, yes, good people, but the rest of them not fit to be in a party called Labour. They don't represent the interests of Labour, they represent the interests of big business. They follow America wherever it chooses to go. We can have nothing to do with them. And where there are then climate change as well. Again, very little to say. What little they promised, they've now abandoned. So there's really only one candidate who stands for these basic principles, the principles of a decent society. I urge you to support Tanushka. I think she will represent you well. She will represent the people of Hove and Portslade well. Please support her. Please support her campaign funds, because we know Starmer's got his wealthy backers now. So let's give the people's candidate a decent fund to wage it. It'll be a good campaign, but let it be properly funded.